Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. One of my fellow XRP YouTubers has stated publicly that Hester Peirce, one of 5 SEC commissioners on the planet, should be whistleblowing against the SEC and effectively communicating this is her time to shine. And I'll be sharing with you exactly what is being discussed there. And attorney John Deaton shared his comments on that. And there's been so much going on over the last day or so, in particular, because Gary Gensler, he was kind of grilled at on Tuesday at a U.S. House Committee on Financial Services hearing, and so I've got some things to say about this. I've got a short video clip that I transcribed. That it's just another one of those things, like everything else that comes out of this story. It just makes your head explode, basically. So I've got opinions on that from and perspective from attorney John Deaton and also attorney Jeremy Hogan. And I've got some comments from SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce. But before going any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related stories, but just as a hobby, just for fun. So how about this headline on your screen? Like, I want to know, how does this headline that's on your screen right now exist in the United States in 2021? How is this possible? Here it is from Bloomberg, though. SEC chief says the United States won't ban cryptocurrencies. Well, hallelujah. Now we found out, now that Bitcoin's been around for 12 freaking years, now we know that cryptocurrencies, praise the Jesus, are not going to be banned. Well, thank you. Thank you, Dictator Gary. I'm so glad that you're allowing us to, as peasants out here, to have our beloved cryptocurrencies, even though you're suing all of us into oblivion. How is this a thing right now? Take a look at this. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler has had multiple dust-ups with crypto firms, but even he says the United States won't follow China's lead in banning digital tokens. Gensler said Tuesday that the government's focus is on ensuring that the industry adheres to investor and consumer protection rules, anti-money laundering regulations, and tax laws. He made the comments at a House hearing after a Republican lawmaker asked if a China-like prohibition was on the table in the United States. And here's a quote. "Our approach is really quite different." And he added that any ban would probably have to be legislated by Congress. Just probably? So you still think you might have the power, right? Dictator Gary? Okay, I got you here. Well, here's something else that was shared by my fellow XRP YouTuber, the digital asset investor. And I actually transcribed this. So you're going to really enjoy this one, let me tell you. But here's what the digital asset investor wrote about what I'm about to share with you. Unbelievable. We have an SEC commissioner who is supposed to answer to Congress that won't answer to Congress. And so there are a couple players here. Patrick McHenry, I actually had him pulled up right here. I don't think I was familiar with him before today, but here you can see he described himself on Twitter as the following. He wrote, "I represent the citizens of North Carolina's 10th District in the United States Congress." And so there's this back and forth with Patrick Henry and SEC Chairman Gary Gensler. And so here's how it began, with Patrick McHenry stating the following. "Is it your view now that Bitcoin and Ether are not securities?" Now, let me pause right there already. It's very clear, right, at this point, right, I think anyway, that 0 cryptocurrencies on the planet are securities. 0 cryptocurrencies, by the nature of them existing, are securities. Just like, so nothing by the nature of it existing is a security. If there's an exception to that, then point it out to me and I'm willing to accept that. But certainly as it pertains to cryptocurrencies, I'm not aware of a single exception to that. Because it's about the way in which cryptocurrencies are offered and sold. Because you have to look at the Howey test, which, there's 4 prongs to it. There has to be an investment of money with the expectation of profit on the efforts of others and with a common enterprise. So those are the 4 prongs together right there. And so if you have all 4 of those come together under the specific facts and circumstances that may apply, then something is a security. But imagine something is created at its inception, it's not even used for anything. it isn't just magically a security by the nature of it existing. If it's sold in such a way, then those transactions would represent the securities. They would represent the investment contract, not the asset itself. Just like in the Howie case, the underlying asset, oranges are not securities. They can be sold as securities. Gold can be sold as securities. Bitcoin can be sold as securities. XRP can be sold as securities. Any crypto can, right? Or just about any crypto. Maybe you could argue stablecoins couldn't because there wouldn't be an expectation of profit, because that's one of the prongs of the Howey test. But any cryptocurrency that has an open market price where there's an expectation of profit, yeah, I mean, I think you could probably make a pretty reasonable case there. And so it should be obvious, right? The right answer is, are Bitcoin and Ether securities? No. His answer should be no, because no cryptocurrencies by default, the nature of them existing, are securities. Now, of course, he can't say that, even if he understands that, because the SEC is arguing XRP specifically by the nature of it existing is a security. And so he'd actually put his little SEC asshat lawyers in a tough spot if he acknowledged what is reality. And so he won't acknowledge reality. So again, the question: is it your view that Bitcoin and Ether are not securities? And here's Gary Gensler's answer. Oh yes, Gare Bear, tell me what you had to say. Just enlighten me with all of the knowledge up on your noggin. And he said the following: I'm not going to get into any one token, but I think the securities laws are quite clear. If you're raising money from somebody else, and that's the investing public believes that they anticipate or have a reasonable anticipation of profits based on the efforts of others, that fits within the securities law. And look, by the way, to be clear, I know that sounded like I must have read something wrong. I just transcribed it. That's what he said. I know it sounded all messed up, but there you go. And so there you go. He will not. He's walking back. Even what was built up, arguably, under the previous SEC chair Clayton, where he seemed to be willing to acknowledge certainly at least Bitcoin not a security, but now Gensler he won't even say that. That is fascinating. And so then Patrick McHenry came in and he said the following, and this again is all transcribed. So here's what he said. That's why I introduced the Clarity for Digital Tokens Act with Representative Davidson and Budd based on Commissioner Peirce's digital token safe harbor proposal. I asked about this before. Have you had a chance to review her proposal? Gary Gensler responded as follows. Commissioner Peirce and I talk actively about these matters, but I have not yet reviewed your bill. I think you just introduced it this morning. So let me pause right there. You may have noticed that's not what Patrick McHenry was asking. And so he responded with the following. Yeah, but the bill is based off of her proposal, and I was asking if you revered her proposal. And do you want to guess what Gary Gensler had to say in response? Do you think it was a yes or a no? Because you'd be wrong. You'd definitely be wrong. He said the following. Commissioner Peirce and I have had a number of conversations about her thoughts on this. That's it. That's it. So I think the real answer must be no. So think about this. The safe harbor proposal. A major proposal, well known, bandied about all over media. And he hasn't read the damn thing. Because if he had read the damn thing, the answer would have been yes. Yes, I read it. If you haven't read it and you know that might make you look foolish, then you don't answer the question, because he thinks that that's just some kind of snaky way out of this, but it just makes him look that much worse and that much like less of a genuine person. Like you lose trust points if you have any left there, even. Because he said, Commissioner Peirce and I have had a number of conversations about her thoughts on this. It was a yes or no question, Gare Bear. Come on, damn it, Gare Bear. Ugh. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And so here's what Attorney John Deaton had to say about this. All of crypto, especially Ethereum holders, should do everything in their power to flip the house next year. If you don't think Gensler will come after you next, then you're not paying attention. He won't even declare Bitcoin a non-security. Well stated, John Deaton. That's why, and I've been saying this for, especially, like, I feel like over the last few days in particular, I brought this up. I'm like, don't assume that Ethereum, although it appears to have gotten the green the green light, the free pass in June 2018. There are different people at the SEC now. That may not stand, and they can always fall back on the fake opinion that it was always designed, it always was, they say, just the opinion of William Hinman, what was being stated regarding Bitcoin and ETH. And especially since that even just a few years ago, around the time that speech was given by William Hinman, Gary Gensler did think that at that point in time, Ethereum was a security. So I don't know if they're going to come after Ethereum. John Deaton seems to think that more likely than not, the answer is yes. I don't know what's likely, but it's very possible. Very possible. Attorney Jeremy Hogan, on this exact video clip, responded with the following comment. The SEC doesn't answer to the legislative branch. See below. We know it doesn't answer to the judicial branch. All that's left is the executive branch. Can someone get the President of the United States on the phone, please? Exactly. So yeah, other than that, I mean, who else is he supposed to run to? Like, Congress is supposed to be over all this, and he doesn't seem to think that he has to answer a damn thing to Congress. Well, how about that? He just doesn't give straight answers. He doesn't want to. And then my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Digital Asset Investor, wrote the following about this clip. In 2021, the SEC chairman can't give a clear answer as to whether Bitcoin or Ethereum are securities, but Ripple was supposed to know in 2013. Now, isn't that a rather salient point? Because it's supposed to be super duper clear. Well, if it's so damn clear, why can't you just say it so that we all know for sure? Because there's clearly a lot of guessing, and like, people don't think it's clear that are operating within this space, but Ripple was supposed to know. Well, you see, there's no way they could have known what is magically inside of your little brains over there at the SEC, which is why their fair notice defense has serious teeth, and y'all going to be in a lot of trouble once the court finds that Ripple did not have fair notice. Really steams in my vegetables, folks. And then there's this from attorney John Deaton. The crypto community needs to truly organize and target any politician that is anti-crypto and running in the midterm elections in 2022, regardless of party affiliation. Gensler hasn't even read Hester Peirce's Safe Harbor. That tells you all you need to know about his intent. Yes, indeed. It's not about a path forward. He just wants to take a hammer to everything and light it all on fire. That's the Gensler approach. That's it. And then there's this from the Digital Asset Investor, my fellow XRP YouTuber. He tagged Commissioner Hester Peirce and wrote, "Hey Hester, obviously you're right. If you want to change the game, blow the whistle and tell the world what was going on with the meetings at the SEC leading up to the Ethereum free pass. Why is Joseph Lubin," that's an Ethereum co-founder, "why is Joseph Lubin so happy with the SEC?" Yeah, no kidding. And so yesterday, I made a video where I highlighted that Joe Lubin's publicly stating that the SEC is doing a great job with regulation and that they're not squelching innovation within the United States. And I read that and I was like, no. Now that really grinds my gears. Because, so he's like the only person that works as a career in crypto and blockchain. He's the only person that works in this damn field that thinks the SEC is doing a great job. And might it be because he perceives to be in a position where Ethereum has clarity? Might that have something to do with it? I certainly suspect. And so here you have the Digital Asset Investor say, "Hey, Hester, go ahead and blow the whistle on the SEC. Let us know what happened in these meetings leading up to the free pass for Ethereum." And here's what John Deaton had to say about that. "It's entirely possible that Hester was kept in the dark by Hinman and Clayton. Hinman testified Clayton was the only commissioner to see a draft of the Ether speech. One reason she may be so outspoken against the SEC is because she's also appalled at how it all went down. But I agree with the Digital Asset Investor 100%. If she does have any more information that can shed light on this debacle, this is her moment in time." Yeah, well, everybody could agree with that, I think. But to this point, I think she's been pretty open and honest and transparent. And given the way that she's approaching all this, which is the correct and logical way to approach it, and other people disagree, I don't believe that they'd be sharing all sorts of extra super secret information. Because, look, she's doing the right thing and making her position known right here. So if she actually does have something super awesome and she can blow the whistle, so to speak, of course that would be the right thing to do. I'm just saying I'm not optimistic that there's anything additional there, and I don't get the sense that she would I don't get the sense she's holding back at all, to be honest with you. she's already said there's not regulatory clarity, which she knows destroys the SEC's case against Ripple. And she's still saying this. Like, I don't get the sense that she's holding back. I think she's doing the right thing and saying her or saying her honest opinion openly. But yeah, of course, if there is anything else, one would hope that it would come out, certainly. And so take a look at this from Yahoo Finance. Here's the headline. It's a real shame the way the SEC is regulating crypto, says SEC Commissioner. This is, they're talking about Hester Peirce here, of course. So again, and I'm going to run through this real quick, I don't think she's holding back. I could be wrong. I don't get that sense. At least one voice at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is growing louder in speaking out against the way the agency is regulating cryptocurrencies. Commissioner Hester Peirce, affectionately dubbed Crypto Mom by crypto enthusiasts for her understanding of the technology, has not been shy about her desire to provide a more clear regulatory framework around the industry. But in a new interview with Yahoo Finance, she may have delivered her hardest assessment yet. And here's a quote. It is disconcerting to me that for 3 years now I have been asking for regulatory clarity and we can't seem to provide any. That's a quote from one of the 5 SEC commissioners. She said that on Yahoo Finance Live. And here's another quote. I think this is really becoming a huge barrier to this industry being able to develop in a way that's safe, but also in a way that allows innovation to happen. And it's a real shame to me that we are not just taking up the mantle as regulators to develop a regulatory framework, end quote. That's pretty scathing. Now, you know that Ripple's attorneys, they've already taken that comment and they've filed it away to be used at a future date. You know they're going to use that, as they rightfully should. And it's the right thing to do. Of course, Hester should be saying this. She is, and Ripple's attorneys are noticing. So anyway, the SEC has recently been stepping up its regulatory power over cryptocurrencies, most recently by blocking Coinbase from rolling out a way for customers to earn interest on their crypto assets. According to Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, the agency threatened to sue the company if they moved forward with that planned service, which was later scrapped. Other crypto platforms, however, are still offering similar services. There you go. Don't have an even playing field. Well, how about that? Oh, man. So this is where we're at in the world. I'm so thankful that she's saying what she's saying. And look, I don't think she's saying it specifically to help Ripple. It does help Ripple. I think she's just saying it because it's the damn truth, and it applies to every crypto under the sun. Let me know what you think about all this. I need to know, all of you listening, are your biscuits okay, or are they burnt? What about your vegetables? Are they steamed? I need to know if they're steamed. And your gears, are they turning still, or are they a bit ground up? Inquiring minds, Moon Lambo wants to know. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.